You're on a train. You can feel the ancient leather seats and the speed of the wheels as you thunder through the landscape. The train suddenly wrenches to a stop and derails. Gravity abandons you as you fly through the musty air. The walls of the car disappear as you see the never-ending vortex of your past, present, and future. Everything is meaningless. You are finally free. Welcome to the Night Unveiled. Good evening, Nightvale. I realize that the schedule calls for the sound of a dark, echoey chasm, but there have been some technical difficulties in that area of the studio. Hence why I'm here, Erin Lionel, to give you the nightly news for our little town. Now, show of hands, who listened to Cecil's broadcast earlier today? Actually, in retrospect, I can't see your hands, but I'm willing to bet the majority of you have risen them. No one likes to miss the susurrous sounds of Cecil, especially just before falling asleep. Well, since most of the week have gone to dreamland, we're left with the nocturnal and most insomnia-ridden residents of Nightvale, my favorite kind of people. For those of you who have just woken up or missed his broadcast, here's a summary of the daily news. A new dog park has opened at Earl and Somerset by the Rouse. The City Council reminds you that dogs and humans are forbidden from the dog park. It is only for the hooded figures that you might see lurking there. Please do not approach these figures, or the fence, or the dog park. All are extremely dangerous and forbidden, but they won't harm you if you follow these instructions. Old Woman Josie has yet again seen something that none of us have seen before. Angels. That's right, listeners. This time she's seen angels. It seems as though they're available for housework and chores. Please contact Old Woman Josie for more information. She's out by the car lot. Please check the pamphlets dropped off in your upstairs closet today regarding helicopter safety and identification. This is mainly directed toward new parents bringing their children to the sand wastes, but why not refamiliarize yourselves with aerial recognition? The Nightvale Business Association has announced the opening of the brand new Nightvale Harbor and Waterfront Recreation Area. I actually visited just today while shadowing Cecil, and they do look really nice. Yes, there isn't really a waterfront, but is that a problem? Of course not. One can always just visit and enjoy the facilities offered. I can tell you from personal experience that the restrooms are clean and well maintained. The local NRA chapter has begun to sell bumper stickers that read, "Guns don't kill people, it's impossible to be killed by a gun, we are all invincible to bullets and it's a miracle." They seem pretty cool. Just stand outside your door and shout NRA to order. I know I'm getting mine as soon as I get home. The Apache tracker is at it again. After that howling at the local post office, he swore he would discover the truth. Sorry to say this, but I have very little faith. Have you seen that racist headdress? Come on. A brief public service announcement. Alligators. Can they kill your children? Yes. Why is that so difficult to understand? Moving on. Lane 5 at the Desert Flower Bowling Alley and Arcade Fun Complex is apparently the entrance to a vast underground city claimed by owner Teddy Williams. Maybe more on this in later broadcasts. According to the group of scientists that arrived today, we have a house in Desert Creek that doesn't exactly exist. In addition, the sun set at the wrong time today, A whole 10 minutes later. Well, I guess that 10 minutes isn't that bad, right? Though it does chip away at the planned activities for us night folk. Oh, but yeah, we have a new group of scientists in town. Let's talk about that. We have a bit more information on them now than we did in Cecil's broadcast earlier today, which was helpfully provided by the Sheriff's Secret Police. Apparently, they, quote, interviewed the renegade group upon their arrival. I was assured they were giving memory-altering drugs and will not recall the experience. I know Cecil has already covered the basics on the expedition's supposed leader, Carlos. Well, I'd like to give you the scoop on the others. Let's see. First up, we have one Rochelle Barnum, which she corrected to Dr. Rochelle Barnum, standing at 5'6", 140 pounds, and she states that her age is one of old enough to know better, whatever that means. She offered a statement saying, I'm going to kick your ass into next week if you don't unhand me right now. I demand to speak to my lawyer. Next up, David Edward Cartwright III. He's given his measurements as 200 centimeters tall, weighing 100 kilograms exactly, and 92 kilos without his prosthetic arm. 21.45 years old, and issued the following. Am I going to be deported? I promise I have a visa. It's in my wallet, the one you took, and I swear if this is about the tea, it was imported legally, I swear. And, might I say, listeners, from this picture the Sheriff's Secret Police helpfully included in his file, I think we have a new heartthrob in Nightvale. Alright, who's next? Okay. Richard Sheridan, also known as Dick. 5'9", 136 pounds, and 36 years old. His statement was, oh dear, well, pardon my French, listeners, but I must keep my journalistic integrity intact by quoting directly. His statement reads, What the f*** are you shit? This is f***ing shit. Let me go, you ignorant s***. Don't know if I like the looks of this one, Nightvale. Now, let's see. Clara Nelson. She's 5'10", 196 pounds, and 37 years old. These are all assumptions, as she refused to provide any information to the Sheriff's Secret Police, instead giving them a glare that can only be described as one of utter hatred and death. I have a feeling she'll fit in just fine. Our last one is Ness Afasi. They're 4'11", 121 pounds, and 21 years old. Their only statement here seems to be, I do what I want, and I don't want to be here. After which they attempted to leave, unsuccessfully. From this report, profuse swearing did ensue after this revelation. Now, I know this all sounds exciting to some of you, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Keep in mind that these are outsiders, and trusting them so soon would be a foolish thing to do. Hell, trusting anyone these days is a foolish thing to do. Trusting people is dangerous and can have awful repercussions. Who do you trust right now? Your doctor? Your mother? Yourself? Who are you even kidding with that? With that being said, we can assure you that our authority figures in the City Council and the Sheriff's Secret Police are completely trustworthy and are only trying to help you. Listen to them. Don't struggle. Just stop that squirming. Stop it. Stop it. There you go. And now, a word from our sponsors. He's there. He is standing outside your window. He's looking in. His eyes are wide, as is his smile. He will not stop. His devious grin grows and the skin on his face strains against his muscles. they can only stretch so far. His eyes grow larger and stare unrelenting into your own. He will not stop. He slowly brings his face forward onto the pane of glass. Tap, tap, tap. He is there. Purchase AAA insurance now. You won't regret it. Alright, now, I know you're all eager to hear about our nightly activities, besides the obvious activity that is available every evening, laying silently, frozen in existential terror. So, let's get to it. Yoga is not to be performed on the main street tonight, as that has already been reserved by an unknown entity for other activities. That will include rambunctious noise and large amounts of bodily fluids. Actually, Nightvale, I'd just stay clear of the main street tonight. That just sounds nasty. Movie night is available for newcomers at the local theater. Please, do not forget to bring blindfolds and earplugs. We don't want a repeat of what happened last time. No one wants to clean that up. Remember, you're not supposed to see or hear anything. Karaoke night at the bowling alley has been cancelled due to the noxious gas that has been reported to cause growing of additional limbs in unfavorable places. And just a reminder that the market is not open at night, regardless of any bright light emanating from it. Do not go to the market after the advertised hours of 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or on Wednesdays, 8:59 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Please remember to steer clear of any and all paper this evening. Paper has been deemed illegal for the next 11 hours and 22 minutes. Any and all paper found within homes and at places of work will be confiscated, and the owner of the property will be arrested within a measurable date of release. This includes lined sheets, books, tissues, and any papier-mâché projects taking place in basements. The Sheriff's Secret Police will be making their rounds any minute now, so please be ready for their arrival by kneeling on the living room floor with your head in your hands, screaming, "Why?" Any and all helicopters should be disregarded during the evening, regardless of color or symbols. These are all safe. Ignore the machine guns attached to the sides. These are all safe. Ignore the blood-curdling screams that erupt from the nearby sand dune. These are all safe. You are safe. And now, the weather. Evening, Nightvale. During the weather, I stepped outside for a few minutes to take notes for my evening People Watch, the part of the show where I tell you what's happening just outside the station and who I can see roaming the streets. The first thing that I encountered when I opened the station door was an overwhelming feeling to turn around, run back inside, close the door as fast as I possibly could, and fasten the deadlock. So, same as last week, right? We can't ever get away from that feeling. There is a woman standing at the corner. She was doing nothing, just standing there. She was holding a phone. Maybe she was texting. Maybe she was looking at pictures of people she lost and can no longer remember in her own mind. I couldn't see her face. Then she looked up. The woman disappeared. It's possible that she was never there at all. A man in a pinstripe suit darted past the station. He seemed to look into the window, searching for something. But when he didn't see anyone, he hurried along down the path. I don't know who or what he was looking to see, but I am infinitely glad that he didn't see where I was, standing in plain sight. After about 30 seconds, the man returned, but in reverse. He was backwards, inverted almost. He walked backwards, looked backwards, and gave me an eerie grin as he skirted back from whence he came. Talk about weird. A group of hooded figures passed by as well, causing all living beings to quickly flee the vicinity, me included. I hid within the confines of the studio lobby until the figures had passed completely. I still don't feel quite right. Next up is No, wait. There is a boy walking past the station at this exact moment. I can see him outside the station window. He's walking alone, but there is a light behind him. Big, huge light. Almost ethereal. It can't exist. It's not possible. It really can't. Never mind. They're gone. Disregard whatever I just said. It was nothing. Nothing. That's all we have for you tonight, folks. The night has been clear, the skies are bright with the new dawn, and while others are awakening, some fall into a deep slumber. Good morning, Nightvale, and rest well.